Guys, we are going to take a look today at the Petrified fish, Terra. You can see it there on the table. I've had it in pockets this morning for about 5 or 6 hours, and so far I'm fairly impressed. It's pretty good. Before we go any further though, I wanted to make something clear to you guys. I want to get this out there. Guys, hitting the like button on a video, I don't do this usually in the very intro, but hitting the like button on a video is the best thing you can do for a video. The more likes, the more interactions, the more YouTube recommends it. It's a snowball effect. So we're not going to talk about that here anymore. We'll talk about it at the end. So let's turn this around and take a look at this knife from above. Guys, like I said in the intro, this is the Petrified fish, Terra. Now, this is the first of the Petrified fish we've had on the channel. I've got a couple of them here that are in from Jared. This one did come from Jared. And I'm kind of impressed so far. It's first day in carry. This has been in my pocket for about 4 or 5 hours. I got up about 6 o'clock this morning. It's about 10 now. And yeah, I've been carrying a little bit. I'm kind of impressed with it. We're going to talk about the things that I found so far. But the first thing we're going to do, as always, because you know how we do, we're going to do some size comparisons. So your first knife's going to be the Artisan Cutlery Sirius by Ray Laconico. So you can see this isn't a small knife. This is pretty big. I measured it. We'll look at it in a second, but it's about 8.5 inches on the matte scale. So you can see it's a little bit bigger than the Laconico Sirius there on the table. Next knife's going to be another great Laconico design, the Slayback. So this was his Monterey Bay Knives Slayback. You can see this is not a big knife. This is a fairly large knife. I'm pretty impressed with this, like how well it carries for as large as it is. So, and then as always, your final knife is going to be the Chris Reeves Sebenza Large 21. And you can see it's just slightly longer than the Sebenza. So good size comparison here. You can see it is dimensionally, it's a lot bigger though. So let's get this out of the way and talk about the good and the bad things that I found so far about this knife in this first pocket day. All right, so there's a lot of good things to say about this knife. Really nicely ground D2 blade on this. The micarta is done really well. Everything's married up. There are no real hot spots on this knife. And so far, the little bit of cutting I've done so far has held up. It is done really well. It's nice and thin behind the edge for a big knife with some fairly thick blade stock. And the finish on it is pretty good. Now, I will say that this stonewash, you can still see some of the grind lines on that. It looks like maybe they did a 120 grit belt and then stonewashed. I would have went personally, if this was a custom knife, I would have went a little bit finer because you can still see a lot of the grind lines on that through that. But I do know that these are a more affordable option. This is done in a liner lock. You've got really good access to the liner. And it has fairly decent action. It's not like it's drop shut, but you can jiggle it shut. There are no sharp spots or anything on the handles so far. In and out of pocket, it's been really, really good. Nice tight pocket clip, but it's done with this lip up on it that allows you to get it in and down on pants. It is really, really stiff, but even on thicker pants, it has not been an issue. I will tell you guys, I change pants several times throughout the day. I have 2 pairs of pants out here that I keep in the shop that I put on just to see how the pocket clip goes over like a pair of 511s that have the reinforced pocket and a pair of track pants and jeans. So, you know, you've got to know those things if you're going to give somebody a review and talk about the pocket clip and things like that. Like I said, action on it's snappy, really, really snappy. And a lot of that comes from the fact that lock bar on that liner lock is really got a lot of tension on it. I like a good stiff lock bar tension because it gives you a very snappy action. Some people might not like that because it's harder to disengage. I don't mind. There is some jimping on the flipper tab. That's not a lot of jimping, but it's really good. You can definitely feel your finger catch on it and it snaps open. And even when you've got a hold of the knife, it's not like it's a hot spot there. The grind on this is almost a full flat. It comes nicely down to this really rounded blade. And you've got this mid-blade swedge, which gives it a little facet for a little bit of attractiveness and a little bit of weight reduction. This knife is not super light, but it's also not real heavy because they did a good bit of weight reduction in the liners. And aesthetically, it is attractive. because they've done everything. It's got a nice look to it. They've done everything really well polished on the liners, and even did a micarta micarta backspacer. There is a lanyard hole, but it's not at all intrusive, and they nicely rounded it. So not bad. Attractive pivot on that. And the shape of the handles is nice and contoured and beefy. It's a beefy knife. Now, a nice thing about that, I know some people don't like that. They think it's too bulky. But what you wind up with is a knife that's very comfortable to cut with, because you don't have to grip down on something that's thin and engage those muscles and wind up with a lot of fatigue. So those are all the really good things I found about the knife. There are a few things that I don't like, and we're going to talk about them. They're not things that I can't overlook. They're not horrible things. They're not showstoppers or anything like that. So let's turn this around and take a look at the bad things that I have noticed. All right, there's only a couple small things that I really have noticed, and they're not at all horrible things. First things first, the pocket clip is a little hot spotty. It's in a position where I'm getting a bit of it in that pinch. It's not horrible, and the fact is I can always take it off because this is a bulky knife. I have a couple pocket slips. I could carry it and see how that does. You know, it's not that is so hot spotty that I can't overlook it, but it definitely does detract from the comfort if you're going to do some heavy cutting. The other thing about the pocket clip, which is the next thing I've noticed, is you have this deep carry pocket clip, but you're not getting the benefits of the deep carry pocket clip. And a lot of the discomfort is because this is a deep carry pocket clip. Now, screw pattern is one that you absolutely could find a replacement pocket clip for it. But what I'm saying is, a deep carry pocket clip like this is uncomfortable because it's so tall. You can see the hot spot, the red spots there, but you're not getting the fact that you still have a lot of knife sticking up. So you're not getting the benefit of the deep carry pocket clip. I think on something like this, that it would actually be very beneficial to have a different style clip. Maybe something more along the lines of what's on this or the other Laconico design here. These are much more comfortable. They're more consistent. They don't hurt as bad in your hand. So I think something a little bit more low profile would have suited this knife better, considering it's not as far up. I think a lot of that has to do with the placement of lanyard hole. I don't like lanyard holes. It's in a bad spot because now you can't move that pocket clip plus that screw there. You're pretty limited where you can put it, but there were some other options. And then the last thing really that I have, the lock bar tension is right where I would want it, right? On this liner lock, it's really good, really snappy. You've got a good bit of tension on that. However, it's been cleaned out and scalloped out to the point where it's really thin. You really didn't need to do that. They could have left that exactly the full thickness, maybe chamfer off the edge. But what you've done now is that is very thin. And it's not that it's painful, it's just awkward. It doesn't feel like, it feels like you're going to slip off of it. I have slipped off of that lock bar a couple times trying to disengage the lock bar. And a lot of that is because it does have really good lock bar tension. On something like this, since you've already scalloped that out and lowered it, you could have gotten away with not taking that material out. And then the very final thing is just a little thing. If you're going to have this area here, you could have opened that up just ever so slightly and gotten a little bit further away from the plunge on that. I think that that's going to cause you some problems in sharpening. If they had brought that out to about here, I think that would have been a little bit better, and it almost would have acted like a full finger chill. You can do it now, but you got to be careful because if you got bigger hands, you're going to get up on the sharpened portion of that blade. Everything else so far has been really good for this first day of carry. And like I said, all these things are just my personal opinions, my personal things that I look for in knives. So with that being said, I don't have much else to say about it. If you're looking for a big knife, I think like the jury's still out on it, but first day in pockets, usually when I have a good impression like this, it kind of sticks around and it's something that stays. So we'll turn this around. We'll do some final thoughts. I'll continue to carry this and we'll see how it pans out in the long-term carry of this knife. So let's turn this around.
Yeah, guys, I'm pretty happy with this knife so far. As you can tell from the intro, there's some bad things about it. But like I said, if you're going to be honest about anything, any purchase, anything that ever comes in, you're definitely going to find some good and bad. And the fact that I didn't spend any money on this, which means that I'm not invested in it, so I can give you my honest opinion. That's why I do like getting stuff in for free from other YouTubers. I'm not beholden to the company, and I don't feel as though if I give it a bad rating or something like that, that I feel as though I've wasted money. So guys, that's it on this one. I love you all. Everybody that was in the live feed with Cole, that was supposed to have Cole in it, I apologize. I talked to Cole this morning. He just simply fell asleep. We are going to reschedule that for sometime later, maybe later this week, Monday, if I can get a live feed up on Monday. Depends on the renovations next door. If you guys like these videos, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give them a thumbs down. That's still an interaction. And if you tell me you don't like a video, tell me why in the comments. It helps me create better videos. If you do want to support the channel, simple as like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, hit the bell icon. If you hit the bell icon, make sure you set it to all, and make sure you've got notifications turned on your device. If you do want to support the channel financially, however, I will tell you there are a ton of affiliate links down below in the description. Anything you purchase directly supports the channel, even if it's not the item you clicked on. You can click on any of those affiliate links and continue to shop and buy whatever you want on the Amazon links, and it still supports the channel. I still get credit for that. I will say one of the best affiliate links out there right now is my coffee brand coffee affiliate. They have some of the best coffee I've had, and Jeremy's a great guy. Shouted me out on Instagram. Love to Jeremy. Thank you very much. So if you guys want to use that, there's a 5% discount associated with my coupon code CrazySharp, all one word, CrazySharp. If you want to support it other ways, I have a membership down below. It's all tier-based. Everyone has access to my Gilded server. It's just like Discord. Baseline and premium tier members are automatically entered into the giveaways I do and announce on the Gilded server. So if you are a member, you got to be on there to be able to win the giveaways. And the premium tier members have access to a sharpening tutorial series. And the final way is I do have a merchandise store over on Ember Shirt Co, where I've set up a coupon code that saves you 10% at checkout. And that coupon code is CrazySharp, capital C, capital S, CrazySharp, all one word, saves you 10%. Guys, that's it on this one. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. I love you all, and I will see you in the next video.